Welcome back to the van build series. On this episode I'm going to be converting a clothesline into a bed. I have this old clothesline and I'm going to reuse it for my bed. So the plan is to use this aluminium as the support structures for the bed, and I will show you inside shortly, but what I'm going to do first is get all the line off the actual clothesline. The next step is to use the angle grinder to grind away these rivet nuts and remove the plastic from the aluminium. Okay, so the bed is nearly complete. I'm going to show you how I actually designed the bed frame, and I used some aluminium. They're like runners that actually came with the van. They came on the floor of the van because it was an ex-DHL van, it was a delivery van, and I used these runners for the side rails, and then I dismantled clothesline, washing line, whatever you want to call it, and I used the clothesline to support these rails on the side. Then I use 2 cross beams that I got from IKEA. I'm now going to secure everything with bolts. So I'm just going to show you exactly what I'm talking about. So this is the design of the bed. What it is I have this cross section, aluminium cross section, and then this is going to be bolted in. 2 bolts here, 1 bolt there, 1 bolt there. I haven't put in that second bolt yet. And then on the other end we're going to have 2 more bolts, 1 bolt here and 1 bolt there. So that will support it on either end. And then in the middle, what I did was I cut these 2 aluminium supports from a clothesline. So you can see the way I notched out aluminium support. I'm going to secure it with bolts to the side of the van here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick one of these bolts through the side like that, and then secure it with this locking nut, a locking nut from behind. I have these, they're 5.5 by 46 mil. They're like roofing cladding fixings. So what I'm going to use them for, the 46 mil will go directly through this section, because obviously I can't get in behind it with a locking nut, so I couldn't use this for there, but I can use it down here. And I can use, so I'm going to do probably 1, 2, 3 bolts and locking nut in that section, and then in this section I'll put 1, 2. So this is going nowhere, and this is going to support the actual cross bracket for the bed. Alright, and then the same with this one. I'm going to do the exact same. And what I've done is on these hex screws, what I've done is I've taken this washer that's on it, and I've taken it off, and as you can see, this bolt, it doesn't have a washer, so just to give it a bit of extra support, so it won't actually go through, that it won't actually pull through that aluminium. So I've got this washer on it that I took off the other hex screws, and I'm going to use it on all the bolts. And now, if you can see this rail, that's actually grooved out, so it's got a slot here, and it's got a slot here, and it's got a slot up there. So that moves on that side. This side is a bit tighter, so what you do is give it a bang, and as you can see this section here. I used the angle grinder to grind it out, so then I can actually tap this up, tap it up, and then pull it out. So as you can see from this beam going across that I got from IKEA, it's extendable, so you can actually move that in, which you can move it in and move it out. So I got it hooked to the beam on that side, and it's going nowhere. And then what you can do is you can extend it, so then it's extending all the ways over to this side where I've cut out the notch, and then over on this side, and then what you do is you just, that slides in there, and what you can see the hook on the end of that, and then what you do is you just extend that over. Sorry for my shit camera work. And then that rests on that groove, then you slide it over, and what you get is and what I'm going to do now is bolt in. I'm going to bolt in the rest of the bolts on that beam, put in an extra bolt in the corner here, an extra bolt there, and the bolts I'm using for that are these ones. So they're 38mm, and I'm using the 46mm for those ones and the 38mm for the rail going across. Yeah, that's it. So now I'm going to get stuck into that. Okay, so that's now the bed frame completed, and there it is underneath. It's quite a simple design, but it's got a lot of structural support because those beams are held in using bolts and lock nuts. And also you can see those two bolts on either end, and then once you have these cross beam supports which are hooked in, they're hooked into either end, so they're going nowhere. And then once you have the plywood on top, that will be then secured to the beams, cross beams. You're going to have a very, very solid structure. So the last thing to do with this is, well, not the last thing, but I don't know yet how far I'm going to bring this back. Will I bring it back all the ways, or am I going to stop it there? So I'm not going to actually drill any holes to secure to the two cross beams yet. What I'm going to do is I'm now going to mark it and drill some holes. It's basically just to allow the air to come up from the garage up through the bottom of the plywood through the holes, and then what I'm going to do is put a mesh on top of that, which will be maybe a couple of mil thick, and that mesh then will allow that mattress that's resting on top of the plywood to breathe, and hopefully it won't develop any mold or mildew or any musty smells. So I'm going to drill the holes and then varnish both sides of this just to give it a nice seal.